My name is Sherif. I'm the founder and CEO of Funnelll. At Funnelll, we help startups and small and medium businesses run their own marketing campaigns like pro marketeers. Our customers usually see 3x increase in their transactions by running over Funnelll between 4 and 6 weeks. Our target is to get them to 10x within a quarter. We have launched our beta last year. We've worked with hundreds of startups and small and medium businesses since. We have launched our paid plans and paid subscriptions beginning of this year and have since reached 10K ARR in less than 200 days, very healthy growth. In order to help our customers to get to this 10x, we need to help them understand where should they put their marketing dollars. In order for them to do that, they need to understand what is and isn't working for them in terms of campaigns, where they're running them, and how their product and landing pages are performing. The matter of fact is, the more data that they can generate, the more sales they can get. However, over 50% of websites, they do not have any kind of tracking whatsoever, and only 25% have very basic tracking. The reason why this tracking is super important is because what tells your ad networks like Google and Facebook what kind of customers buy from you so that they can drive you high quality leads. And it's why 97% of companies and websites that run campaigns without having conversion tracking fail to return a positive ROI. Our mission is to unlock this 75% that is currently underserved in the market. The problem is they don't have access to technical skills. They might not have marketing know-how. They cannot afford it from a time and a cost perspective. This is where Funnelll comes in. We want to reduce hundreds of hours of coding, integrating, building, and navigating complex dashboards to a few clicks. Customers can set up the tracking by selecting what they want to track on their website, telling us what this means to their business, like an add to cart or a checkout, and the code is instantly available on their website. It's being distributed to their ad and analytics tools.
So yeah, talk me through this again.
Yeah, so customers would say, I want to track on my website. Right? So we open their website, we attach a Funnelll panel. They just select the elements they want to track, like a certain page or a certain button.
How are they able to select what they track? I guess what I'm asking, how low code is it? I'm just trying to understand that.
It's totally low code. So it looks exactly like this. This is actually from our live site from a customer. They just said, okay, I want to track how many leads I'm getting. So they go to Funnelll, they say, I want to track clicks.
Okay,
it opens this window, they selected the button, they say, this is a lead generation, and that's it.
Perfect.
So as long as they understand what their customer journey looks like, they can track it on Funnelll. So once we unlock this data, we put back into our dashboard. We show them where their bottlenecks are. We show them what their drivers are, so they can double down on what works and cut everything else out. Give them actual advice into what they can change today in their marketing campaigns and website so that they can increase their sales. So today we are raising in order to scale up our engineering team to release the next version of our AI and our distribution channels in order to help more customers get the 10x milestone. Thank you.
First question that just comes to mind for me is like, you are playing in a landscape that is incredibly competitive with, just it's a little bit of a red ocean, as they say. And what's the call to action that you think for you guys is going to help you break through the noise just in the beginning? Like for the 30 that leaned in on you early, what is it about what you guys are building versus everybody else that you see?
Yeah, so we found a market gap because this lower end, which is actually the tail effect, so it's the majority of the customers, are underserved. Like there are no tools for them. All the tools are for marketeers. Those folks cannot afford it. It's too complex for them to understand it. So the point of view that they're coming, that we're taking to the market is, it is super simple. As long as you can, if you know how to read and how to click, you can set up all those complex things that you needed previously coders and marketeers in order to set up. Even when you're running your own campaigns, you don't need to have an extensive marketing know-how, because instead of giving you all those complex dashboards that you have to navigate through and stitch the data together, we're going to give you the insight. This is what you need to do. And you can drill down to understand the data that supports this advice that we're giving you.
Is the advice, like, are you doing multi-attribution, or like what are the techniques that you're using in order to generate the insights?
So it's using attribution, it's using multiple data points that the customers add. So they can link their Search Console, they can link their analytics, they can link Facebook, LinkedIn, they can link over 12 services. And basically what we do is we augment all this data together, and then we use it as part of our algorithm to tell them what they need to do in order to increase their sales. Practically, we are using this like an experienced marketer. The amount of data points is overwhelming, and what we do is we really simplify it, and we give them things that they can actually use.
The thing I always think about is just kind of, escaping competition. When you're playing in a space that does have a lot of other entrants at different levels of sophistication, you just have to be very thoughtful about distribution as well. And talk a little bit about what your kind of thesis is going to be in terms of breaking through the noise to get to this relatively unsophisticated customer as you're describing it.
Yeah, so currently we are mainly using inbound. So customers who are aware that they have a problem, that are trying to break into this market, they're trying to get more sales, who are looking for a solution. This is where they find us, on Google, on Quora, on a lot of places, right? So right now we're talking to customers who are aware that they have a problem. In the future, we are also planning to launch plugins for Shopify, for Zapier, for Segment. So we're going to be in front of far more customers who might not necessarily know that what they're missing, but once they see us, they will understand how we can help their business.
Last question for you is look, it's going to be, a fist fight for you in the beginning, because you're trying to get the right queries, you're trying to access this customer, you want to build a product that people love, but then ultimately you have to get to a point where you become less and less vulnerable to competition. You escape it somehow. How do you think about that? What's your technique going to be, or what do you think is going to be that moat that you've built over time?
So I think the first comer advantage is really strong here, because we give customers a tool that they would otherwise need two or three different tools in order to get the end result. The good news for us is that there are changes in the standard. ITP is coming out by Apple, which is intelligent tracking prevention, and everybody in this space is going to need to make changes. This is a challenge in terms that we need to handle this as well, but it's also an opportunity because everybody is now out of their comfort space. No tool is going to work the same way it used to 1 quarter ago, and it can be an opportunity for us to grab a big part of the market.
Great.
If we play our cards right, which we're hoping we will.